Hello users, and welcome to another episodic installation of Above It All, the series in where I talk to you about things that I find very important. So this is some very curious stuff going on in Minnesota. Unicorn Riot put a little compilation of the Bikers for Trump, like, KKK rally thing. So, you know, I watched most of this video, but it's only 2 minutes, so I thought I'd just play it for you. This is just a little taste of what's going on right now in the Minneapolis area. This is in St. Paul, which is, to my understanding, the other Twin City. This was on June 27th.
Go home, racist! Go home! Go home, racist! Go home!
Look at you! He made it worse. The Kraken division has never been bigger in this country. You know? But remember, take that hood off when it's done.
I will. Like I said, my mission's done when it's done. If he loses, he loses. I want him to lose fair. I want him to lose fairly.
This part.
He lost fairly the popular vote.
Well, he lost. That's how you lose.
He lost the popular vote.
But he's the president.
Exactly.
So now...
So do you believe that... you must believe in the Electoral College?
Actually, no, I don't.
These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey!
I just have to say, you love to see it. This fucking guy. Actually, no, I don't. Like, you just love to see it. I gotta replay that.
Lost fairly the popular vote.
Well, he lost. That's how you lose.
He lost the popular vote.
But he's the president.
Exactly.
So now...
So do you believe that... you must believe in the Electoral College?
Actually, no, I don't.
These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho!
You guys have social media. And I was talking in the bullhorn and she smacked it and I told her, do not touch this. And then I put my hand up, she smacked it again. I was proceeding to talk. Then she literally full force tried to choke me.
She tried to choke someone half her fucking age.
I need her first and last name. She just assaulted me.
Do your job. If that was your mama that just got her hands put on her, I bet you would have did something. Fuck y'all.
One thing here that's very explicit, I've mentioned this before, is that when there is a fash versus an anti-fash protest, the cops always are on the side of the fash. It's not on the side of, really, it's more so they're just an extension. They're an arm of the fash. Every single protest I've ever been to, if there's ever violence breaking out, it's always police on anti-fash or fash on anti-fash. Or if there's self-defense, then when the self-defense starts, they selectively edit it. Like, and Andy No does this thing where he'll just selectively edit like a fascist beating down a fucking anti-fascist, and then start rolling as soon as the anti-fascist punches back after he's climbing off the ground and stuff. So it's very selective editing, very selective enforcement. These people are just an extension. They're, like I said, cops are not people. They are a weapon of fascism. That is what they are. They're an armed, robotic, cyborg extension of fascism. They've got all this gear on them. They've got all this bullshit that nobody needs, and they're there only to use it on anti-fascists. That is explicitly and specifically their only purpose.
People, you should be ashamed of yourself.
She can't get out without standing there. You gotta come this way. You gotta move. You gotta move. You gotta move. Hey, get the fuck off me. What the fuck are you doing? Get off. The fuck are you doing? I have every right to stand here. I have every right to stand here. You see my legs here?
Bye, stupid.
Right. That's what they give y'all?
One thing I love, again, I love heckling cops. Oh boy, that's my shit.
Be ashamed of yourself. Are you mad? Are you mad?
Y'all just allowed that woman to leave with assaulting me. Y'all awesome bitches.
Who's street?
Our street.
Who's street?
Our street.
Fuck the police.
Fuck 12.
Alright, so again, this is just a little glimpse as to stuff going on. I like Unicorn Riot's edits, their compilations. They usually do a pretty good job. Obviously, it goes without saying, put your fucking mask on. Like, come on, this isn't a fucking game. I get it, you know, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Put your fucking mask on, okay? The chin mask, I'm sorry, I don't buy that shit. If you don't have your mask on and you're not, practicing social distancing, then I'm sorry, you're being dumb. You're being stupid. Like, especially if you got the chin mask fashion accessory, I'm sorry, I just have to state that explicitly. Triggers the fuck out of me. This virus is very real, and you pretending it's not real or not actually doing what you need to do, I think it's very irresponsible. I think it's stupid, and I think it's evil. I think it's partially psychopathic, and I think it makes you look bad. It makes me look bad. It makes everyone who's an anti-fascist look bad. So put your fucking mask on. It's also very useful for identity purposes, to hide your identity. So I'm just saying, that has to be stated. That has to be explicitly understood. However, the thing about, like, especially this guy, the thing is, you have to understand, Trump voters are stupid. You cannot be a Trump voter and be smart, unless you're like a billionaire or whatever, and you're just smart in, like, oh, I understand the history and I know the tax economic these people are just, they're not smart. They are just not smart people. They don't know anything. They're ignorant. They're uneducated. So when Donald Trump goes out there and says, I love the poorly educated, that's what he's talking about. He's talking like people like this. And again, as you can see, especially when this part with the bike here, like them just aggressively moving the bike back, that's something I see all the time. Them just changing up the police lines to try to bait people. It's like, ooh, maybe I'll bump into them, or maybe, wait, just maybe, they'll bump into me when I'm moving into their fucking direction, and they're like, you know, just walking sideways or something, and then that can be my reason for arresting them, and then I can arrest them and charge them with resisting arrest because, you know, I'm, you know, like, that's just the cop playbook. So you have to understand that. I think this is a pretty decent video, you know, give you a little tidbit of what's going on in the Twin Cities area, and things are still happening. Like, this is still happening. There's a lot of shit going on. And don't even think for a second that protests have ended, because they have not. Mainstream media is over them. They got their money out of it. They're just back to Trump 24/7. But we cannot and we should not let them dictate what we do. Direct action is your friend.